Hi everyone, my name is Steph, this is the Novelty Corner and welcome back to my channel and welcome to the weekly book steep for the last week. I'm on water again and yes, this is a disposable water bottle. I was at the hockey last night, I needed water and that is exactly how much I drank, which is why I need to finish drinking it this morning. And also why one of the reasons why I am a perpetually exhausted pigeon at the moment, because I go straight from work to Friday night hockey games that go into overtime and shootouts and I don't get home until 11 o'clock and then realise I haven't done all of my filming notes for the weekend and I have a live show starting in just under an hour. So we are going to try our very, very best to get through this little discussion. Thankfully, I did not read a whole lot this week. Work was a lot. I had my reread of This Kingdom Will Not Kill Me. It was a lot. This is my reading week from the 25th until the 1st of May. I read 4 things this week for a total of 1,310 pages. I had 1 reread, 0 DNFs, and 1 book for a project. So I'm really only talking about 2 books in this video. Who even am I? So as I said, my reread for this week was This Kingdom Will Not Kill Me. I was immersive reading this with the audiobook, so it actually took me 3 nights to get through it because I was also making notes because the live show is happening this weekend. So full thoughts, I will leave a link to the live show on the screen because we will be talking spoilers. My project book was Platform Decay by Martha Wells. That should be in a video coming out this week, fingers crossed. Spoiler alert, I love the book. I felt like it was a real return to what we're used to with Murderbot stories. And then into books that were new to me, there is a junior fiction titled The Astronomically Grand Plan, which is part of Astrid the Astronaut by Niel, and this is a illustrated chapter book. The illustrations are by Talitha Shipman. This is a book that I saw recommended for books about women in STEM and space and things like that. So I did pick it up just to see what it would be like. I think it was okay. We have Astrid. Astrid loves space. She has plans to become an astronaut. She has a whole list of steps of things that she needs to do to get there. She also wears hearing aids, which are an important part of this story. It is the start of a new year. She has this grand plan with her best friend to get into Shooting Stars, which is a after-school STEM program. However, she does get into the program and her best friend doesn't go. And so there is a bit of friendship conflict as she realizes that actually maybe her friend does have different passions to her. And so she has to navigate Shooting Stars on her own and make new friends and work together in a team with her partner, which is a little bit wobbly at the start. But I mean, it's a great book about having to navigate friendships, having to navigate group work, having to find your place when maybe not everyone around you shares the same passions that you have. From that regard, it was great and I'm looking forward to taking it into the classroom. All right, and then the last book to talk about this week was Around and Around We Go by Amy Aislin, which is book 2 in her Vermont Trailblazers series, which is a queer hockey romance series. We have Sandro, who is a professional hockey player who is a defenseman. He is 38. He is really starting to age out of the sport because his entire body hurts. It is his second chance romance with Bennett, who was one of his first big loves when they were in college. They were both playing hockey together. Bennett went to play in Chicago and then quit after the first year and broke up with Sandro and didn't really give a reason why. When we meet Bennett in the present day, he is a documentary filmmaker, or a filmmaker, but in this case, he's filming a documentary about the Vermont Trailblazers. And it's not quite going according to plan. Like, he's trying to find the story and it's a little bit difficult because the Trailblazers are back-to-back cup champions and they are going for their 3rd and it looks like they could possibly do it. And he begins investigating the culture of the Trailblazers, which is very much a big part of this series around encouraging the players to be open about how they're feeling, to say what they're feeling. And there's also a huge component of mentoring from the veteran players and the rookies. And it's really interesting to read. It would be ideal if that was the culture in most clubs. Obviously, this does bring Sandro and Bennett back into contact and they have to confront what happened to them in the past, which is essentially a story that is mirroring a relationship that Sandro has with one of the veterans who he's mentoring. And it's that Bennett got into the NHL and was completely overwhelmed by what he was experiencing. The pressure, everyone telling him what to do, where to be, where to dress, all of that sort of stuff, to the point where he lost his passion for the game, which is why he quit. He was so overwhelmed and so under the pump that it just was not for him. But he wasn't able to articulate to Sandro, who seemed to be having the best year ever as a rookie hockey player. Sandro begins to understand that through working with his mentoree Eli, who is experiencing very, very similar things. And Sandro realizes that some of the things that he would normally say to a rookie, like, it's fine, you'll get through it, blah, 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 like that, it doesn't cut it because what he experienced is not the same as everyone else. But he does have a vulnerable moment when he reveals that, you know, in his rookie year, his boyfriend broke up with him and didn't give him a reason why. So it wasn't a great rookie year personally. Professionally, it was fantastic, but personally, it wasn't. There's some really great discussions in this book about, you know, what happens when you, as a professional sports player, what happens when you retire? What do you have to look forward to? So there's discussions around, you know, the impacts on family life, the impacts on your personal life, on your mental health. And I think that was really, really interesting. The romance was also really lovely to see them actually rebuild that relationship, especially since it had been such a long time. Like second chances, they can be hit or miss. I generally enjoy them. I think the authors that I will read second chance romances from are authors I trust to do it well. And there's no third act breakup in this one. In fact, a lot of the conflict comes from the fact that someone leaks footage of the documentary that hasn't been completed yet, which is trying to show that maybe the Trailblazers aren't as perfect as everyone seems to think they are, but none of the clips are in context. So I really enjoyed this one. It had pansexual rep in it, which was great. And it was just a really wonderful time. So I'm glad that I picked it up a couple of days after release. And that is everything that I have read. I still have not made more progress in Astronomy Sky Country. I need to do that because that's carrying over with me from April into May. Otherwise, I don't know what I'm reading next. I really have no clue. I've not thought that far ahead. So stay tuned. Who knows what's coming? In the comments, I'd love to know, what have you been reading over the past week? Feel free to let me know. Otherwise, feel free to let me know if you've read anything that I've talked about today. I hope that wherever you are in the world, you're staying safe and healthy, and I will see you in my next video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye, everyone.